Doc, I just read that if Warren Buffett had retired at 60 like a normal human, 99% of his net worth wouldn't exist. He's essentially a walking, breathing glitch in the simulation.
It isn't a glitch, James. It's the heartbeat of the universe. It's like a single lily pad in a pond that doubles every day. For 29 days, you barely notice it. On the 30th day, it chokes the entire lake.
Right, but the lake in my bank account looks more like a puddle in a drought. Are you telling me that if I start saving the price of a fancy avocado toast now, I'll eventually own the orchard?
Precisely. But here is the tragedy of the late bloomer. If you wait until 30 to start, you aren't just behind. You are standing at the base of a mountain while the 20-year-old is already in the clouds.
Ouch. So if investor A puts in money from age 20 to 30 and then literally quits, and investor B starts at 30 and saves every month until retirement, investor A still wins? That feels illegal.
It's the physics of finance. Time is the exponent, not the addition. In a vacuum, $10,000 left alone for 40 years at 7% becomes over $150,000. If you wait 10 years to start, that same money only reaches $76,000. You paid $74,000 for a decade of procrastination.
So I'm essentially charging myself a laziness tax with a massive interest rate? My 20s were basically an expensive vacation from my own future wealth.
Think of it as a snowball at the top of the Himalayas. At the start, you're just pushing a cold, heavy rock. It's grueling. It's boring. You see no progress.
And then what? It hits a tree and explodes like my credit score?
No. It gathers mass. It gains momentum. Eventually, the snowball moves so fast, it generates its own heat. That is the aha moment when your money earns more in a month than you do in a year.
I looked at a chart earlier, and the line stayed flat for decades. Then suddenly it shot up like a rocket ship. It looked less like a bank account and more like a middle finger to the concept of hard work.
That vertical turn is the critical mass. It's where the rich get richer. Isn't a conspiracy theory, it's a mathematical certainty. Their wealth is no longer fueled by their labor, but by the sheer gravity of what they already own.
So the wealth gap isn't just about who has the best job, it's about who got to the vertical phase first. The rich aren't just playing a different game, they're playing at a different speed.
Exactly. While the working class fights for a 3% raise, the compounded elite are seeing their capital grow by multiples that defy human intuition. We are wired to think linearly, but wealth grows exponentially.
It's like the rice on a chessboard story. 1 grain on the first square, 2 on the second. By the time you hit the 64th square, you have more rice than the entire world can produce.
And most people quit the game at square 10 because they don't see a pile of rice yet. They see a snack, not an empire.
So the secret isn't being a genius or picking the next big stock. It's just being incredibly patient and starting while you still have baby teeth.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. But make no mistake, the person who planted it 20 years ago is currently sitting in the shade, while you are sweating in the sun.
I'm going to go find my 20-year-old self and give him a high five, and then take away his credit card. That vertical phase looks a lot better than a weekend in Vegas.
Welcome to the upper echelon of logic, James. The math doesn't care about your feelings, but it deeply respects your discipline.
So if I'm hearing you right, Doc, my bank account isn't just a number, it's a biological organism. If I feed it now, it becomes a monster later. If I wait, it's just a pet that dies before it can protect me. But tell me this, if the math is so certain, why is everyone still broke? Is it just bad luck? Or are we all just playing a rigged game of musical chairs?
A brilliant observation, James. Compounding is a double-edged sword. It builds empires, but it also fuels the very inflation that threatens them. In our next session, we'll discuss the inverse curve, how the same math that makes you rich is currently being used to keep the middle class in a state of perpetual debt. Are you ready to see how the house always wins and how to finally sit at the dealer's table?
You've seen the curve. You've felt the weight of the years you've lost, and the massive power of the years you have left. But compounding is only half the battle. To truly master the vertical phase of wealth, you have to understand the invisible forces that dictate every decision you make, from the stock market to the supermarket. Watch our next episode, Understand Probabilities, how it applies in our daily life, to discover how to turn the odds in your favor in every room you walk into.